Hi, hello, my name is Jupiter, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. We've made it to May. So, this is a video series in which I review and lightly rank all of the debuts that happened last year in the year 2022. So here in May, this month was personally a slow month in terms of groups I care about and comebacks, but when you go through the debuts, I don't think it was a slow month for debuts, not at all. This is also the point in my life where I am beginning to get irrationally concerned that a company is going to take down one of these videos for copyright, or the stages are going to get me in trouble, or I don't know, I'm just getting nervous about that now. Y'all, if you're seeing these, it means everything's fine. But I'm getting by remembering I'm not making money off of these. So if something happens though, it's gonna be really hard to repair them because my poor little computer can't handle all the files, so I'm kind of deleting things as we go through the months. Oh boy. So, yeah, yeah. Anyway, cool. We're just assuming everything's gonna work out. Yeah. Also, this is normally the part of the video where I would list a bunch of rules and things about this project that I think are relevant, but this time I'm just not going to. If you have a question about something I'm doing or why I'm doing it and you haven't watched all the past videos, just ask me in the comments. I'll just answer it there. The only thing that really is important for you to know is that this video is based 100% on my opinions. I'm writing this video assuming that other people won't agree with me. My rankings are really just me answering the question on a scale of 1 to 10 of do I like the song? And there's a lot of different ways that you can answer that question, and I have no fear about jumping in between these different ways to answer the question at any given moment. So they're not really binding numbers, they're just representations of my feelings. I know we all get really attached to our idols and the products they put out, and I think that's okay. K-pop really is built for you to get attached to them. That said, it's also okay to have different opinions than people. So going forward, I'm okay with that. I need you to be too. And I said it before, I will say it again, I am excited for May debuts. So let's do it, let's jump into it. May 2022. Hwayeon, Blossom. So, if you haven't learned already, I'm very bad at describing music. So when I say that this song sounds different, I'm trying really hard to say why I think that. This song has it's almost like electric flamenco music. There's a really steady guitar sound that's underlying the really kind of bouncy synths that are running through the track. It's bright and it's cheerful. It's the edge of sultry, but not too much. The vocals are lovely and the sets are gorgeous. I just wish that the song was longer. It's definitely short and you can feel it really leaning into the repetitiveness of its chorus. It just needs a little more meat on this skeleton, just something more. It's a 7 out of 10 for me though. It was a surprise and I'm glad I found it.
What you looking at? 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 I'm fearless, huh? You should get away, get away. 다치지 않게. You should get away, get away.
SSERAFIM, Fearless. I love this song. I listen to it constantly, no joke. I think it is catchy. It's an awesome pump-up song. If you want context of when this song came out for me, I was applying to new jobs, so listening to this song with a combination of Moonbyul's Cheese in the Trap, it was like the perfect combination of I'm fearless and I'm gonna make you mine. It's an incredible mindset. Highly recommend. I just think it's kind of a really minimalist song, and it works. It works especially in a time where I feel like there's a lot of maximalism going on of how much you can do in a song and how much can you change things up and how many different synths can you fit in and sound effects and all of these different little elements. And this song goes very clean and very simple and with a very clear, straightforward message. I think this song works. I think the whole album works. I haven't been captured by an entire EP in K-pop in quite a while. It's been like a good few months, and I know that doesn't sound like a long time, but in K-pop that's a long time when you're constantly being bombarded by releases. Anyway, I've said a lot of words, but the point of it all is that Fearless is a great song, and I think they did very good with this one.
눈이 부신 세상 너와 같이 걷는 기적 같은 일이 이제 쓰여질 시간이니까.
Alice, Power of Love. So this is a re-debut of the formal group Alice. I believe they're pronounced the same way in Korean, which I think is so clever. Good for them. And I did see a comment somewhere saying that this was supposed to be a pre-release single for a debut album, but then I looked it up and I could never find that album, so I'm going to call this the debut song. And it's really pretty, team. Like, I am so here for giving a ballad choreography. By this point, you've probably figured out that ballads are not my jam, they're not my number one thing, but this one's very, very pretty. It's not my favorite song ever that I've listened to, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6. It's not one I'm going to come back to, but I really love that it exists. I think the video is on point, and I think this pure piano song for a girl group debut specifically, it feels right, and I think they have a really nice balance between all the members and their vocal tones and everything. So congratulations to Alice, and welcome back. Classy, Shutdown. This is a good song, and I will say that off the bat. I think the verses are really the shining portion of this song, and I really, really appreciate that it's taking its time before it's rushing into the chorus of the song. The only part I really have less affection for is the post-chorus. I mean, I think it fits the song, but all of the other parts of the song were so good that I just don't really think it shines. I think the concept is so cute, too. It's colorful, and it's well executed, and any scene where it looks like they're having fun is just the best scene. This is the point where I'm going to put my little caveat and say that I will not lie to you. I'm freaked out by how young some of the members looked, especially because I know for a fact they're really young. Going forward, Classy is probably going to be a great group, and if you support them, congratulations, but I quit watching My Teenage Girl halfway through because it was really grating on me the way they were going after 18-year-olds for being old and acting like they were ugly or useless because they were above the age of 15. Like, I genuinely hope we can all agree that that's really fucked up thinking. It looks like this concept was handled well for them, and I'm glad, because again, they're very young, but that is always just going to be a thing in terms of Classy, that, like, I can't unthink that origin story of putting 13-year-olds through survival show hell. Yeah. Though, just the song, though. Song's good. 7 out of 10.
비켜라 비켜 Hey! 전부 비켜라 비켜 전부 비켜라 비켜
TNX, Move. So I wasn't sure about this song when it first started. It's a really hollow electronic track, very classic for a boy group sound right now. But by the time we hit the final chorus, I was really bought into it. I enjoyed this song. There's a trumpet line that kicks in during the second verse, and it really elevates the entire thing. I think the vocal line is centered well amongst all of the synth sounds. And yeah, they did this kind of hollow, empty synth song really well. That's one you've got to be careful doing, I think, to make it either seem boring or not let the synths be overpowering. I also have to give a shout out to the precision and synchronicity of all of the choreography. That was very impressive. So I'm bought into this song, and it's probably going to go on my boy group playlist. I was pleased with it. 8 out of 10. Yerin, Aria. The bulk of my review of this is that the song is entirely too short. I think it's leaning way too heavily on the chorus to do the work of the entire song. The second verse is basically non-existent. There's no pause in the entire song, save for just the dance break, which is part of the chorus itself. I don't know, it just needs more. I like that it exists. I like what does exist in this song. It's cheery and it's bubbly. I think the lyrics are very strong. The video concept is fantastic. She looks awesome. That yellow outfit with the little black bow is my favorite. It suits her really well. But overall, it's so short that I don't feel satisfied at all when it ends. It just needs a couple more pauses or another verse, perhaps. It almost feels like they didn't want to debut her, so they just kind of gave her a short song so you could be like, yeah, look, you debuted! Woohoo! Just give her, like, more than her 5 minutes of fame, you know? Give her a whole song, 6 out of 10. Blanky, thumbs up. So this song feels very similar to TNX's, and that's kind of funny to me just because they were released so closely together. I know it's not a rare concept or rare sound or anything, it's just really interesting. But in terms of differences, this song is much less hollow, there's more going on, but the whole thing is pitched higher, it's got a more tinny quality, and it feels overall thinner. There's less variation throughout the whole song, save for the changes in the vocal line, and it's a bit repetitive. I like the song, but I could not loop this song. The repetition and the really high buzzing synths were starting to grate on me by the end of the song. The pre-chorus is the saving grace, though. I think it's great. I'm a big fan of this full-length chorus that they've given to the song, and they're singing throughout it. They're not just chanting the whole time. I could really get into that. I think that's great. The song's good. The boys did good. I don't have too many super strong opinions about it, though. 6 out of 10.
I pictured you and then I cried. You never cry for me, and that's not what you like. Baby, I'm really dead inside. Paint a picture for you, it's like I'm still alive.
SONNI, 5 seconds. So this one, I will go ahead and just announce that it's a little weird in terms of categories, because this is an American releasing a song in English for what feels like a Western target audience, but she was in a K-pop group, so I'm gonna run with it. The song itself feels like there's not much for me to sink my teeth into. She's got a very whispery vocal going, which is fine, but then the backtrack is so loud that I cannot hear a word that she's saying, and there's really little enunciation, so as a whole, there's nothing to make the song stand out for me. It's another song that's just kind of running forward, and I don't know where on the map we are or where we're going, and I can't hear her well enough to be able to pick on the clues of where we're going in a way that I really want to. I don't even know what emotion this song is trying to convey. It's just a blur. And for that, I give it a 4 out of 10. Xindy, Mermaid. I don't think I would be mad if I heard this song again, but that said, I don't like it enough either to listen to it again on purpose. The chorus has her singing in this really whiny tone that feels pitchy. I'm not a singer, so I do walk on thin ice when I make any statements like that about pitch, but to my personal ears, it's unpleasant to listen to, and I know that her voice can sound better because it does sound better, in fact, in the verses and in the bridge. I think she sounds awesome in the bridge, truly, and there's a couple of notes where she takes on almost a husky quality, and I think that suits her a lot. I do have to give points to the MV, though. The budget was low, and I can tell, but it's super pretty. I think she looks ethereal. She looks great. But you need more than catchiness for me to really get into a chorus, so 5 out of 10. Nice neutral review on this one. And there we have it, folks. May. Welcome into the month recap section. So happy you're here. So this month we only had a handful of debuts, with 9 total. And then of those 9 debuts, a full third of them were girl groups, with the debut of Les SSERAFIM, Alice, and Classy. There were only 2 boy groups who debuted this month, with TNX and Blanky. And then that leaves us with 4 soloists who debuted, and all of them were female soloists. We had Hwayeon, Yerin, SONNI, and Xindy. No male soloists is kind of strange. Like, usually there's less, but this is a drastic amount less. 0 is a pretty drastic number less. But anyway, moving on. So in terms of music video views, the video with the most views was Les SSERAFIM's Fearless, and when I watched it, it had about 90 million views to its name. A very impressive amount. And then the least viewed video was SONNI with just over 5,000 views. A very different scale to be living in. In terms of my personal taste as well, the rankings look just about the same, with Les SSERAFIM being the highest ranked song and SONNI having the lowest score. And then we have our final overall month ranking, and we've got a nice pretty middle of the road 6.5 here. So at 5 months in, this seems like a pretty fair time to start seeing where the months stack up against each other. And so here's a little refresher of the month averages we've had thus far. And then it looks like May is pretty middle of the road, with it in that 6 range. And seeing all the 6s to me makes a lot of sense in terms of average ranking. I'm generally pretty agreeable with a lot of stuff. I don't rank too low unless I really, really hate something. Like, by this point, if you haven't noticed, the biggest trend is going to be that if I dislike a song, it's probably going to be like a 3. I very rarely will go down to a 2 unless I actively hate something. And then if something's going to get a 1, it's something that I think it's just unlistenable. So a generally above 5 ranking makes a lot of sense, but not terribly high. So then you have February, that's definitive low spot there with the 5.4, but then March was a high point, getting past 7.5, which is kind of cool. So we'll see how it keeps turning out. There was some really strong debuts that came out in the summer, so I think March might have some competition coming up. I don't know about June, but maybe July. So we'll discuss that when we get there. But for now, my fellow K-pops and cosmic bodies, I'm out of words. So I'll see you again when the planets align. And until then, peace!